Welcome to the StockMentor.com studios here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your stock mentor, Brian Johnson. I'm making professional trading simple. And we had, more of the same, guys. This is what we've seen for the last couple days. And let me show you really quick on the Dow. See when we broke this trend line here? Straight down. Nice move by the Bears, followed by a great move by the Bulls, followed by a nice move by the Bears. We are making just a lot of chop. However, I will say that this chop action is what I actually like to see. Why? Because the moves sideways are very elongated. It's very stretched. And this makes for a lot easier trading if you're a day trader than like this motion in here where this is, little this is chop that's just within a few points. And you hear me, complain about that all the time. Markets move 10 points a day. How do you trade that? It's very difficult to trade this type of action in here. So we wait during consolidations for moments like this, and then moments like this, and then moments like this. So good trading to be done today if you're a day trader. Very frustrating if you're kind of a swing trader because it's back and forth. It really doesn't go anywhere. And that's ultimately what you see here on the daily. Where are we? We're sideways. Or just sideways. This, okay, guys, I want to be a bear. I really want to be a bear. But the charts won't let me right now. I have to put my own personal feelings aside and look at what's being given to me. And this is a high base type of a formation, which is still bullish. So until we break this 9,900 area and ultimately get below this 20-day on a closing basis, I really have to kind of stay neutral to a little bit bullish. All right, so I'm still on guard. These days are all sideways, but like I said, good sideways days because they're very, very large moves in the markets, which make for some easier trading. Even going back here, this is why I want to be a bear. Look at this. Move, 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 down. Move, 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 down. So this is doing the same thing all of this did back here. Maybe there's one last push. I mean, I talked to my subscribers about this. I thought it was going to come a couple days ago, and I was wrong. It didn't happen. But I've always been expecting this push above 1100 for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because it just makes such a beautiful bull trap if it does. If it consolidates sideways and moves above the 1100 area on the SPX and then quickly reverses. I mean, what a beautiful setup for a bull trap to get to get a bunch of people long up above these areas here, and then quickly rip it back down again and trap everybody as they stand there going, "What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?" It's very common to see that. So, anyway, I digress. This is a Friday video. It should be light, right? We should be having fun. So let's take a quick look at the markets and see what happened during the week. A lot of chop action, but big moves on the chop action. So good trading. Good trading if you're a day trader. I was really happy to see this. I had a really good week. So I'm very happy with this kind of action. Um, uh, and as a trader, as a day trader, this type of action is exactly what you want to see because it's so much easier. It makes you feel so much more comfortable when you enter your trades because things are quote unquote behaving from a technical standpoint. The NDX on a 60-minute, you can see same type of chop that we've seen. It is staying above this 50-period moving average, but from a daily standpoint, we kept below this dotted line. Once again, wouldn't be surprised to see one more push above and one last retest of this dotted line. Why is that? Because that would put us right at this area of resistance up here. And then we'll let the Bulls and Bears fight it out up in this area. We've already completed this 61.8%. The weekly candle, though, you're starting to see a lot of wicks, upper wicks on these, which shows me there could be some distribution going on up here. So you'll want to keep that in mind as we move into next week and into the end of the month. I believe end of next week is also end of month. That will be very interesting to watch. SPX on a 60-minute. Here's all that chop. I drew in a few more lines, so yes, it looks very decorated right now. Something maybe my kid would do on a piece of construction paper, but That all makes sense. You can see this trend line here coming across, held on this last move up. Now it moved back down. We retested, for all practical purposes, this 1075 area. The low was 1075.49. So we really retested this 1075 area, but did not break below this 1074 area, which is ultimately now what we want to see on the SPX if you're bearish. The MACD has been diverging, but you know what? It hasn't always played out. It hasn't always played out with a major move to the downside. So we want to be watching this closely too as we progress. Any sharp move to the upside and that MACD comes screaming right back up again. And then we're all waiting and watching as the next divergence happens. So that's why I said don't put a lot of stock in these MACD divergences. They're good for a few purposes, but they're not certainly not necessarily crystal balls to the market in every case. SPX on a daily, you can see us right back to this gray line support area, which was one I threw in myself. I just liked what I was seeing through the middle of this, so I threw in a little gray bar that's in parallel to this channel that we've been watching. Let's see if we get another retest. That'd be back up here above 1100. That would come maybe next week. On a weekly, you can see we're right on and still in this rising wedge on a weekly. VIX on a daily had a nice push up today, but you can see the last 3 days, chop, 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 all sideways action for the VIX, same as the markets. And on a weekly, which is really what I'm really liking right now to watch, and you can see we came down and retested this upper trend line. I'm going to tweak this weekend ever so slightly because I think I can catch the bottom of that tail and the bottom of this tail now. And I really like that look. So we'll see if this upper trend line holds. And I mentioned we get below the 200, and I really think we're going to get back down to here, and we have now. So we'll see where that takes us into next week. Apple on a 60-minute